This is Travel Tuesdays. Every Tuesday, we present you with another incredible country. Today, we're looking at 15 things you didn't know about Luxembourg. Welcome to alux.com, the place where future billionaires come to get informed. Hello Aluxers, and welcome back to another interesting video brought to you by our team here at alux.com. Let's talk about living on the expensive side of life today, shall we? Because the country we're bringing you to is anything but cheap and boring. So sit back and let us make you fall in love with today's destination, Luxembourg. As small as it is, with an area of only 2.5 square kilometers, more than half of Luxembourg's population is composed of foreigners, and the economy is flourishing. Back to the 10th century, Luxembourg was a small castle that later developed into a city and the country that we know it is today. Despite its small size, Luxembourg is a part of the European Union and plays a major role in the region's political involvement. If you're new here, welcome. Be sure to subscribe and follow us on Instagram at alux. If you think about studying or working in Luxembourg, or you would like to only visit, we can guarantee that these 15 things you didn't know about Luxembourg will get you searching for the earliest flight to visit these beautiful castles in Luxembourg and relax in a stress-free country. Here we go. Number 1. It's one of the smallest sovereign states in Europe. Luxembourg takes the 8th place in Europe when we're talking about the smallest of sovereign states. The only ones to top that are the Vatican, Monaco, San Marino, Liechtenstein, Malta, Andorra, and Georgia, without the Asian part. With the size of about 2,586 square kilometers, or 998 square miles, it also takes the 179th place in size of all the 194 independent countries of the world. Even if the state only measures 82 kilometers in length and 57 kilometers wide, during the 20th century, its population increased dramatically due to the big mass of immigrants that came from France, Italy, and Germany. In 2017, Luxembourg had a population of approximately 590,329 people, which, when you think about it, it's kind of a small amount for anything you'd consider a country. Number 2. Luxembourg City is one of the most relaxed cities in the world. If you live in a big and busy city, we're sure it can become difficult to find a place to relax and run away from the buzz, even if you cuddle up in a cozy spot at home in your favorite coffee shop. However, when it comes to Luxembourg City, the country's capital, things are a bit different. With the lowest population density for a state capital, Luxembourg City is the best choice if you're into quiet places and avoiding people while going out for dinner. On top of all that, the work-life balance is great, with lots of holidays and laid-back mindsets. Imagine 5 paid weeks of vacation and 13 national holidays. Plus, with more than half of the population being immigrants, this city is a multicultural one, and the diversity of mentalities will be very beneficial to your well-being. Number 3. Luxembourg is the second richest country in the world. It may come as a surprise to you, but the smallest countries are the richest ones. According to Global Finance magazine, only Qatar gets in Luxembourg's way of becoming the richest nation in the world. In 2017, Luxembourg had a GDP, or gross domestic product, per capita of $101,936. The economy is constantly growing because of the industrial sector and the agricultural field. More than constant growth in economy, there is low inflation and the unemployment rate is below 10%. Moreover, the Luxembourg government attracted internet startups, with Skype and Amazon being 2 of the many internet companies that have shifted their regional headquarters to Luxembourg. Number 4. Luxembourg actually means little castle. If you love castles and fairy tales, this is your paradise. In the medieval years, there were more than 100 castles in Luxembourg, and as we already mentioned, the country itself started off as a castle. Sadly, only half of them are still standing, with the majority being privately owned, like Berg Castle, where the Grand Duke of Luxembourg has his residence. But even so, if we do a little math, the result is that you'll find a castle every 100 square miles, which is impressive if you're into medieval architecture. If you're also a fan of walking, you can choose the hiking trail into the Valley of the Seven Castles and visit some of the most impressive castles the country has to offer. We think you got the point, Luxers. If you have no other reason to visit Luxembourg, but you're a castle lover, do it ASAP. Number 5. Mansour Akramoj is the richest person in Luxembourg with a net worth of $3.2 billion. TAG, aka the Techniques d'Avant-Garde Company, is a private holding with its headquarters in Luxembourg that offers products and services in the business of aviation with interests worldwide. Its CEO, Mansour Akramoj, is the wealthiest man in Luxembourg. Mansour was born in Saudi Arabia in 1952 with a French citizenship. He graduated in 1974 with a degree in business administration from Menlo College in California and now rules over the TAG empire that also owns 25% of the McLaren Technology Group. The most important asset of McLaren is, at the moment, the McLaren Formula One team, and Mansour owns a part of that as well. He also owns 10% of the upmarket jewelers brand Osprey & Gerard. His net worth is at this point $3.2 billion, and besides an impressive home and luxury car collection, he also owns an $80 million yacht. Number 6. Luxembourg can be a model for Hong Kong's workforce. Hong Kong is facing a serious problem regarding their workforce, especially in construction and catering. First of all, they need to facilitate the borders passing so foreigners can come to work there. This is the most important thing that Luxembourg turned into an advantage. Luxembourg facilitated taxes and regulations for foreigners, especially for them to come as workforce. They also have to secure an area where new companies and startups will set up their headquarters in order for the number of workplaces to rise. All of these issues have been addressed and fixed by Luxembourg in very efficient and practical ways, so Hong Kong could definitely learn a thing or two from them. Number 7. They faced an espionage scandal in 2017 involving their prime minister. Luxembourg had to hold new elections after a scandal involving Jean-Claude Juncker, a Luxembourgish politician serving as president of the European Commission since 2014, had come to light. Everything started back in 2013 when their prime minister announced his resignation after a Secret Service scandal where the Luxembourg intelligence chiefs were accused of having made unauthorized taping of phone conversations and keeping around 13,000 secret files on the state's politicians. Now, the case was brought back and fresh evidence emerged. The judge launched a new criminal investigation into whether government officials working for Mr. Juncker deliberately falsified crucial evidence during the 2013 preliminary investigation, but Mr. Juncker denied having any knowledge of illegal activities. Number 8. The LuxLeaks revealed tax rulings done by PwC. A journalist investigation conducted by the International Consortium of Investigative Journalists revealed in November 2014 a financial scandal named Luxembourg Leaks, sometimes shortened to LuxLeaks. Luxembourg is named a tax haven because PricewaterhouseCoopers, or PwC, had helped multinational companies obtain at least 548 tax rulings, or legal secret deals, in almost 8 years. A lot of confidential information about Luxembourg's tax rulings set up by PricewaterhouseCoopers were exposed, alongside the tax rulings of nearly 340 international companies, such as Pepsi, IKEA, AIG, Coach, Deutsche Bank, and Abbott Laboratories. The government looked into this, but Luxembourg still works like this as a tax haven. Number 9. Luxembourg succeeded in steadily reducing the number of fatalities on roads. Luxembourg took initiative into reducing the number of fatalities on roads a few years ago. They introduced more police controls, traffic cameras, and increased penalties regarding driving issues. All of these measures contributed to reducing the number of fatalities to 47 per 1 million inhabitants in 2017, instead of 216 per 1 million inhabitants in 1991. This fact relates to another, namely that Luxembourg is the only European country with no road death increase, even if Luxembourg still has a long way to go in order to improve road security. Also, it's estimated that 19% of road fatalities and 22% of seriously injured casualties are due to drinking and driving, and 48% of all fatalities are due to speeding. Number 10. Studio apartments in Luxembourg go as high as $935 a month. During last year, the rents for accommodations in Luxembourg had gone mad. Only for a studio apartment, people had to pay approximately $935 a month. It's important to mention that we talk about the price in the most important areas, but since the country is as small as it is, almost all of it counts as important. Also, if you think of buying a house in Luxembourg, you're also going to need approximately 700,000 euros, which is about $834,000. The best advice we can give you is to start with a renting apartment if you want to move to Luxembourg, or maybe work as hard as you can and buy your dream house there. And since we're talking about house hunting, make sure to watch our top 10 most expensive penthouses in the world by clicking in the top right corner of your screen. Number 11. They have blood banks from donors. It's been more than 5 years since the Red Cross was organizing events for blood donation in Luxembourg. April is their donation month, and at some point, they had a record of 180 donations in a single day. In total, they managed to collect blood from nearly 13,000 people. Given the fact that transfusion recipients are only given the blood components needed in their treatment, one donation could be used for several patients. There's no urgent necessity for blood in Luxembourg, but having a blood bank is very important, and in case of a catastrophe, they can manage the blood problem. On the other hand, there is a limited shelf life for blood from 5 days for platelets to 2 years for albumin. Number 12. Uber is having a tough time in Luxembourg. Uber might be forced by the European courts to get the necessary licensing like any other taxi companies, since at the moment they're in a legislative gray zone. At the moment, Uber faces the risk to be banned out of Luxembourg after some sad incidents taking place in Barcelona and London. The scandal began when a few women were raped during their ride with an Uber, while others were sexually harassed, and people all over Europe started protesting against Uber, especially taxi drivers. In its defense, Uber said that more than 7.5 million people and 120,000 drivers in the European Union use their app, and they do their best to ensure a high level of safety during their rides. Number 13. Luxembourg is a tax haven country. Luxembourg has been the tax haven of choice for many corporations and rich individuals around the world since the 1970s. The taxes are extremely low in Lux, and this gives the private businesses a chance to grow and contribute to the economy of Luxembourg while avoiding paying higher taxes in their home countries. Many of the U.S. corporations such as PepsiCo, American International Group, and Walmart stores are well known for creating branches in offshore tax havens such as Luxembourg in order to cut taxes. In 2013, Luxembourg was ranked as the second safest tax haven in the world, right behind Switzerland. Number 14. SpaceX launches Luxembourg's communication satellite. On January 31, 2018, Falcon 9's launch of GovSat-1 to a geostationary transfer orbit was SpaceX's sixth mission with a flight-proven rocket that carried the Luxembourg-made communication satellite into space. This satellite will circle the Earth for 15 years at a height of about 36,000 kilometers. For the launch, the Prime Minister and Deputy Prime Minister of Luxembourg, along with the Prince and Princess of Luxembourg, went to Florida to take part in the event. This is a very important step for the European community because it will provide better communication services and better NATO protection. Last year, the same Falcon 9 booster was used to launch a top-secret payload into space for the US government. Number 15. Half of Luxembourg's workforce commutes to work from the surrounding countries. As we mentioned before, most of the workers in Luxembourg come from surrounding countries, making Lux a multicultural environment. Most people travel across the border from France, about 78,500 workers, as well as Belgium and Germany. Today, approximately 43% of the total workforce in Lux comes from outside of the country. As an upside to this, the situation provides the best example of no language borders. Almost any foreigner can find a workplace in Luxembourg. The main reason foreigners do not move to Luxembourg if they found a job there is because of the high price of accommodation. That's it for today, dear A-Luxers. Thanks so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed it as much as we did making it. Before you go, please let us know down in the comments how you would feel if you had to commute to another country for work. Oh, still here, are you? Nice. Here's your bonus fact. Number 16. Restaurant Chigeri in Luxembourg has over 1,500 wines on the menu. You might not know this, but Luxembourg has a great reputation for its wineries across the country. If you've already decided to book a trip to Luxembourg, you cannot miss a pleasant evening at the most popular restaurant there. Restaurant Chigeri has more than 1,700 different wines on the menu to choose from, with prices ranging from $30 to $3,000 a bottle. The success of this restaurant is due to Dino Totaro, the secretary of the Luxembourg Association of Sommeliers and member of the international office of the ASI, who's been able to establish many contacts with the greatest winemakers in Luxembourg, France, and other countries. Thank you for spending some time with us, A-Luxers. Make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss another video. We also handpicked these videos, which we recommend you watch next. Thank you for being an A-Luxer, and we'll see you back tomorrow.